Good morning, everyone. Doubtful from Capital Dynamics again. Good to see all of you. Good to see that you all have survived through a very turbulent period. We are all dealing with this crazy trade war created by the United States of America, courtesy of Donald Trump. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about something else, but also very important in terms of the impact of the tariffs that America have imposed on Malaysia. I'm talking about Malaysia's airport crisis. Do you all know that we face an airport crisis in Malaysia? Let me share with you a few things. First thing is, in a global trade war, airports in Malaysia take on an extra level of importance. Whether it's the KLIA, whether it's Penang, whether it's KK, and so on and so forth. Why? Because the huge tourist industry is not subjected to the Trump's crazy tariffs. So the tourist industry in Malaysia is a major sector. It can be a very important source of economic growth when your traditional manufacturing sector is being adversely affected by Donald Trump. So why is there a crisis, and what can we do? What should we do? What is wrong? What is the status of the KL International Airport and the other airports in Malaysia? I travel a lot. I travel a lot regionally, globally, domestically. I just came back from flights to KK, to Penang, and regional areas as well. So here we have, not too long ago, KLIA ranked among top 10 airports globally with near perfect score in the 2024 ASQ survey. Of course, Malaysia Airport splashed this as a headlines, right? This is for airports with over 40 million passengers. Now, KLIA 1 tackles only about 24, 25, 26 million passengers. It is KLIA 2 that's larger, right? So here it says KLIA scored 4.99 out of 5, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you travel, I'm sure you use KLIA 1, I'm sure you use the KLIA 2, you know what your actual experience is like. So what I'm going to share today will be based on my personal experiences, plus some research, some facts and figures, to show that what Malaysia Airport has claimed is full of BS. BS. Why? Let's take a look. Now, this is to quote our Minister of Transport, Anthony Loke. We take that view as a reference and lesson. Sometimes we can't just take each survey and consider it as conclusion. That's right. We take the ranking position of KLIA from the more reputable Skytrax ranking. Skytrax is more authoritative in terms of airport ranking. So what do we get? Well, this is Skytrax ranking versus the ASQ ranking, both 2024. At number 1, Skytrax is Doha. Number 2 is Singapore Changi Airport. Number 11 is Hong Kong International Airport. Oh, by the way, where is KLIA? KL International Airport is 71. 71 from top 10. Skytrax ranked KLIA 71. Now, are you surprised? From your personal experience, I would say, yeah. Skytrax, you are correct. Not the other one. The top 10 that was claimed by Malaysia Airport Berhad. And you cannot find it in the ACI ASQ website. They divide for you. For this ASQ, they divide different categories. If you click on into it, under each category, You cannot find KLIA inside there. Cannot be found. Personally, if you ask me, I'll probably rank KLIA as maybe 100. So why does Malaysia Airport keep publicizing a ranking that is doubtful, that is suspicious? Now, this is the methodology of Skytrax. You can read it for yourself. It is like the minister said, that people in the industry know Skytrax is reputable. This is the ASQ categories. If you look at each one of them, there's one best airport at arrivals globally. You click a drop down and you cannot find KLIA inside there. I do not know how they find it. Now, this was taken in May 2023, about 2 years ago, right? It's myself at KLIA, and maybe I'll just play back for you what I said during that time. Today is 24th May. I'm back in KLIA, just landed 2-3 minutes ago. It's about what, 8:30 p.m. and you see this? I'm not telling you where to go. I'm telling you, look, the aero train is out of service and we got to take the bus. Again, it's a 4-minute walk. You see my bag? My bag here? Hi. I'm already, going to be 70 years old? When was KLIA open? Take a guess. 1998. Right, 1998. I'm sure many of you have been to Hong Kong. You have used the Hong Kong International Airport. Guess when was the Hong Kong International Airport open? 1998. You land in KLIA, 1998, yeah, thing works fine. About 24-25 years later, KLIA now is like an airport from a developing country, like somewhere in Africa or in Bangladesh. You land in Hong Kong Airport, open in the same year as KLIA, it's like as if it's still brand new. The train, Hong Kong's got aero train as well, works incredibly well. The whole station, the whole airport is still as if it's brand new. So how can it be both international airports opened the same year and Hong Kong Airport has got a lot more traffic, a lot more passengers than KLIA? You know, like our former Prime Minister Badawi said, Malaysia has got first world infrastructure, third world mentality. This is what you mean. 1998 we have first world infrastructure, 25 years later because of third world mentality, we have dropped back to third world infrastructure. And I told you, right, if you follow me, I was in Bangkok recently, right? Dong Muan Airport, Bangkok's international airport, is the oldest international airport in the world. It was built in 1914 or something like that. Of course, after that they had the new international airport and so on and so forth, and they closed Dong Muan and then reopened Dong Muan in 2008. And as I shared with you, Dong Muan Airport is a lot better than KLIA, even though it's much older than KLIA. And Soekarno-Hatta Airport, which is Jakarta's international airport, is also older than KLIA. Now there are some parts, of course, which is of the old architecture, old design, are still well maintained, and the whole airport is a lot more friendly than KLIA. So, I mean, look, you want the hashtag Ministry of Transport, hashtag whatever it is. This cannot be, lah. You know, if you look around, you got cigar shop, you got cosmetic shop, you got chocolate shop, you got liquor shop, right? You got all kinds of nonsensical shop. I'm looking for the pharmacy. I cannot find a pharmacy. And you call yourself KL International Airport. Bullshit. Let's go, take the bus. Let's go and take the bus. And this is also in KLIA, where you see people waiting at the carousel to collect their luggages and so on and so forth. You notice they have changed the design of this place. It used to be much better design, not so claustrophobic. Now, I do not know why the management has decided to build almost every carousel this huge. Maybe it's for security reason, or maybe it's for, I do not know. So it's now very paranoid, very claustrophobic, and I think it could be done much better. Now this is shocking. This is in the KLIA 1 satellite terminal. You can see how narrow the whole passageway is. Passengers can't even walk properly, and then you have this, I don't know, the electric vehicle trying to go through a narrow path, right? Now, if you notice there's a staircase there, this staircase was not in the, to be fair, this staircase was not in the original KLIA design. It was added on. You notice they built another level, they built a staircase on both sides because the management of Malaysia Airport wanted to increase revenue, non-passenger revenue. So they create all these kind of spaces so that they can rent out to more outlets. But look at how bad it is. You create more revenue for Malaysia Airport at the expense of customers' safety and passengers' convenience. And you call yourself the most efficient, the most convenient airport. I think we should have taken a survey based on these few people walking through this narrow passageway. The same, this is a bit slightly after that, this is also the satellite terminal. On your right you can see a cafe, and you can see a group of people trying to walk past that narrow passage. At this time it wasn't that crowded, but can you imagine when this path is full with passengers? The same thing, you see the same staircase. I do not know how the airport management, the Malaysia airport management, could be so greedy. They are really greedy and just making extra money at the expense of what choices do the passengers have. Malaysia Airport, KLIA, they have a monopoly. If you don't use KLIA, how are you going to get out of the country? How are you going to fly out of the country? It's a monopoly. Now you're a monopoly and you're squeezing the people who actually gives you the business. And as you can see, I mean, I'm sure many of you have gone through this part of the satellite terminal before. If you haven't, go through and see how badly designed, how ridiculous it is. It's not just this part, it's many other parts of the KLIA, the KL International Airport.
Are you tired of doing investment research on stock markets? Want to spend time on your hobbies or go out with your friends instead? Introducing iCapital, where you can get independent, objective, and comprehensive investment advice on the go. Available in English and Mandarin and can be accessed via app, website, and print copy. We provide thorough, first-hand research-based findings on listed companies, economies, and stock markets, and clear perspective of how markets interact and how they influence investments, as well as provide Malaysian and global stock recommendations, stock portfolios with outstanding performance to follow. Subscribe now to iCapital for stock news. From only 49 ringgit a year, start investing like a fund manager. Subscribe now at www.icapital.biz.
Let me take you to a paradise in comparison. Let me take you to Hong Kong International Airport, as you can see, right? The buildings and so on. Now, be mindful of the facts. Both Hong Kong International Airport and KL International Airport, guess what? Both of them were completed in the same year of 1998. Both of them opened operations within a short period of time. And you look at how Hong Kong International Airport is, spacious, well designed, clean, right? And the passengers handled by Hong Kong International Airport, do you know how many passengers they handle a year? 70 over million passengers. KLIA Terminal 1 is only 25, 26 million, and it's really in a mess. Even if you add on KLIA 2, which some people find it to be better, it's still 40 odd million only. So both were opened in the same year. This is where after you check in, you can go in for your departure gates. It's on either left or right. And this was taken at the Hong Kong Aero Train. Now, remember, this was January about 3-4 months ago. Remember, both airports opened in 1998. Let's take a look. I'm in Hong Kong International Airport. I'm looking at the Aero Train. Hong Kong International Airport was opened in the same year as the KL International Airport. The Aero Train is damn efficient. Our Aero Train doesn't even know when it's going to be resuming. Oh God, KLIA, better close down. Here's the super one. See? 1998, both opened at the same year. It's like almost brand new. What's wrong with KLIA, man? Right. Now, what is interesting is this. How many times has the Aero Train broken down? How many times has the Aero Train in Hong Kong broken down? In Hong Kong, 0. In KLIA, God knows how many times. You know, in 2 years ago, in 2023, I was hoping that the Aero Train would be completed and resuming soon. It is really going to be May 2025. I don't see any Aero Train in sight. I still got to take a bus. Come on. You want to blame on what? I mean, I don't know. They say recently they made a statement, there are so many changes in government, so many changes in prime ministers. Well, I don't know. It's always easy to blame someone else, right? Maybe they should start the good habit of self-criticism. I think that would be a good start. This is to compare both Hong Kong International Airport and KLIA. I want to take you to the next one, right? Now, Hong Kong International Airport serves 100 plus airlines. It's really a global hub. KLIA is only a regional hub. And only recently, British Airways decided to come back again. You know, I cannot fly directly from KL to San Francisco. Isn't that something wrong? America is one of Malaysia's trading partners, you know, and we cannot fly straight to San Francisco or LA. Well, anyway, you look at efficiency, that row, efficiency and service quality. Hong Kong International Airport consistently ranked among the world's best airport for efficiency and service. They invest in automation, seamless transit, smart immigration, and so on and so forth. In the case of KLIA, operational challenges, issues with terminal congestion, baggage handling delay, inconsistent service quality, whole airport is badly managed. And then expansion faces bureaucratic delays, and so on and so forth. And they say, oh, passenger demand is not high enough to justify major expansion projects like in Hong Kong. Hong Kong now is constructing a huge third runway where that terminal will be as big as the present terminal, the present two terminals. These are some of the comments. It's talking about massive queue at the check-in baggage drop, ticket check, airport luggage check, a whole list of complaints, and it total 1 hour 40 minutes. And another one from France, July 2024, Immigration took nearly an hour, not because there was an influx of passengers, but because of the poor setup. People were sneaking around giant columns, barely visible to the agents, while other lines funneled into 4 different agents far away from where the line ended, so the turnover from one passenger to another was slow. Anyway, the complaint goes on. I will leave it. If you want, you can read it. Now, this was many years ago, right? The famous aero train of KLIA. Let's take a look.
So we are working for a train. It's been stuck 1 hour with no explanation, and they only try now. Someone just came after finally we do a walking. Yeah. Yeah. And I think they should revise the emergency plan. Yeah, especially the call center. They said they call, they will, and no response.
Okay, now you remember that, right? When the passengers had to walk on the dangerous railway track in rain. What excuse has Malaysia Airport got? Come on. I mean, to maintain it properly, I don't know. I'm not an airport expert. I'm only an airport passenger user. All I know is that for a passenger like me, for a frequent passenger like me, I hate to use KLIA. In fact, I really dislike using any of the Malaysian airports. Now, the Transport Minister said at the September 2024, Aerotrain set to resume in January 2025. That was January 2025. Now it's going to be May 2025. And now Malaysia Airport confirms that it's going to return in the second quarter of 2025. I don't know, to them, time doesn't mean anything. All they know is they still get their salary. They shouldn't. This is Penang International Airport. I think it was last year. Jam the whole airport. I know it's old. You can say, yeah, it's always overcrowded. Anyway, it's not an airport that I use with enjoyment or with convenience. So if you say old airport, right? Yeah, fair enough. Then what about the other airports in Malaysia? Kota Kinabalu. I just flew from KK 2 days ago. The whole place was so badly designed, so user-unfriendly. Same thing for Kuching. Have you tried Ipoh Airport? I arrived at the airport at, I can't remember, in the morning. I was looking for a place to eat breakfast, and there was this supposed cafe outside the airport, and it says, well, at least on the website, open by, say, like something like 7 a.m. And when we went there, they said, sorry, it's not open yet. So it's not just KLIA, it's the entire airport infrastructure in Malaysia. Please, we need to have more tourists because our Malaysian economy is already slowing down. The first quarter GDP is only 4.4, a drop of from 5.4, right? And the first quarter, the Malaysian economy has not been hit by the tariffs from America, not yet. So what are we going to do when the economy slows down and the tariff is going to worsen the slowdown? You need services, huge services industry like tourism, of which airports and airlines are extremely important. And you're going to get more and more, you need to get more and more tourists, right? China and Malaysia have extended their visa free to 5 years, and we can stay in China 90 days. The Chinese tourists can stay here in 90 days. But with this kind of airport infrastructure, you can have negative feedback, you can have the other way, the other consequence. So don't be complacent, please. Old airport is no excuse. This photo is a bit, well, it's fresh because I'm talking about the Xiamen International Airport. It was opened in 1983, 15 years before KLIA, 15. Is the hub for Xiamen Airline. I've used Xiamen Airport many times, either direct from KL to Xiamen or en route to Shanghai or Beijing or whatever it is. I also use Xiamen Airlines quite frequently. Now, the architecture may be dated because it was about 40 over years ago, a different style, different architecture, different taste. But I can tell you this one fact. When you go inside the airport, the entire airport is super clean, spotless. It's almost, if you look at the floor, look at the walls, it's almost like it's brand new. It's efficient. And when you go outside, you don't have traffic jams like at Penang Airport. You don't have traffic jams like KLIA. Hey, Xiamen Airport handles about 28 million passengers, you know. 28 million passengers, 28 million passengers is more than KLIA Terminal 1. It's 4 or 5 times the size of Penang Airport. And yet, an airport that's 40 years old can feel top class, look top class, and actually gives you top class service. Go for yourself. Experiment for yourself. And then tell the people, an old airport is really no freaking excuse to have a lousy airport. Of course, Xiamen, because they're expanding, so they're building a new airport. But the new airport is supposed to be ready, I think, within this year. So, now, let me conclude. Tariffs can block exports, manufactured exports. But no government can impose tariff on tourism. KLIA, the international airport, is Malaysia's supposedly welcoming mat and also a nice farewell. But it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. When a tourist or a domestic passenger lands at KLIA, we face an aero train. Not only has it been out of service for so many years, before that it had a lot of problems. Terminals which are unfriendly, chaotic queues, and the list goes on. So the first impression spreads for people coming to Malaysia the first time. But for regular user, the negative impressions get embedded. So I fervently believe that Malaysia airports should stop hiding behind these false rankings and overhyped press releases, and for once start delivering world-class experience that Malaysia truly deserves. As we say, Malaysia boleh. I hope you enjoy this Saturday's video. Share it, please share it so that we have more people pressurizing Malaysia airports to make our airports much more efficient. You know, our roads, our highways, our flyovers are already full of traffic jams. And now we get this inefficiency, this jam in the airports again. Share them, like it, comment. And if you like any other topics that you want me to talk about, let us know. I've already been talking about tariffs for many weeks. If you want me to continue, let me know. If you want me to talk about something else, let me know. But do subscribe to Capital Dynamics YouTube channel. Have a good week ahead.